Unusual aircraft because as a fighter is a twin engine. Almost all fighters you see are single engine. It's got the Ellison engine you see here. The pilot sits in a little gondola here. He's got 4 machine guns and a 20mm cannon firing straight in front of him. That's an advantage. Most of the fighter aircraft you see have machine guns on the wings. And when you shoot, they have to converge at a certain distance. It could be 400 yards, 500 yards, whatever the pilot for his airplane wants. Then they diverge. Well, with the P-38, everything was right in front of you. We had a docent here, Don Huntington, who has since passed, was a P-38 pilot during World War II. And I was having lunch with Don one day, and he was telling me about one of the missions he had over the Mediterranean. He said he had an engine out, so he's flying back on one engine. He hooks up with a B-17 that's got at least one engine out. And they're trying to get back to their bases. He looks off in the distance and he sees 2 German fighters, and they're coming in. Don says, the only thing I could do is turn into them and start shooting. He says they were out of range, but they turned and left. They didn't want the front of this pointed at them. So it was a big advantage. The 2 leading U.S. aces in World War II, Bong and McGuire, both flew the P-38s in the Pacific. The pilots loved it. Twin engine, bring you back, had great range, firepower, fairly durable. This is the aircraft or type of aircraft that shot down Admiral Yamamoto, who was the architect of Pearl Harbor. So this is the type of aircraft with drop tanks, had exceptional range. It was a great aircraft in the Pacific. It was an okay aircraft in the European or the Mediterranean. The German fighters, the Focke-Wulf 190, the Bf 109, were more maneuverable and had the same speed. One of the advantages this has, look at the propellers. They're different. What's the difference between the 2 propellers?
The angle of the blade?
No, they're both the same angle. They rotate in opposite directions. Why do we do that? Why not rotate them both the same direction?
To keep it from
Torque.
tilting. Yeah.
When we spin an object, a propeller spins, it creates torque. And it wants to pull the aircraft in one direction. A lot of times you'll see these single engine fighters, when they take off, they kind of move one direction as they, not straight. Well, that's because of the torque of the propeller. So Lockheed, Kelly Johnson, Skunk Works, spun them in opposite directions. The other thing this aircraft was one of the first to experience was a thing we call compressibility. Now, what's compressibility? It has to do with speed. If you ever watch a boat go through the water, it creates a wave. An aircraft does exactly the same thing as it goes through the air. And this wave starts at the leading edge of the wing. And the faster you go, this wave starts moving back over the wing. And at high speed, that wave will go over the flight controls and lock them. So the pilot has no control over his airplane. So they lost several of these in test flights and didn't know why until they finally figured out this thing called compressibility. And it was a very simple solution for them. If we look over here at the wing, on the wing here, if you see this bubble, you see right behind the bubble the rectangle? At high speed, that can be a dive brake.
Oh, I see.
The pilot can activate it, it disrupts the airflow over the wing, and he has control.
So it just drops down, or?
It just drops into the slipstream
Okay.
and disrupts the air, and then he has control again.
That's cool.
Pretty simple idea.
Yeah.
The other aircraft designed at the same time, and you can see the difference, is the T-40, the Curtiss